Hey guys, it's Klassicalkill. I'm here bringing you another video. It's going to be a video on one of the reviews on my main account. Just wanted to give you guys little mix up of the content. In this game, I played like nearly perfect, and I want to show you this game just so you can get an idea of like perfect decision making and execution on pieces of information in a high elo environment. I want to show you guys what your game should look like when you're playing at peak performance. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay, here we are in game, and at the very start of the game, I'm thinking I want to get vision on the Lee Sin. As Vi, your level 3 is actually stronger than Lee Sin's, believe it or not. If you find him on his camps, you can beat him in a skirmish. If he finds you on your camps, he can beat you in a skirmish. Okay, that's kind of how it works. Whoever finds the other person wins the fight. So I'm trying to get a good prediction of where he's going to end up on the map just based on this ward here. So we place the ward here, I base back in the bush, and we retreat and switch back to our sweeper, right? Let's just speed up a little bit. So we're gonna, if we can, we're going to try to intercept Lee Sin on his camps and try to kill him, or try to steal his buff and take it away from him. We see him starting topside. So here I am thinking, hey, there's potential that I could just queue over and steal his blue buff. Because if he's starting topside, he's most likely going to clear his Krugs and Raptors first and not just go over to blue. It's very unlikely that someone does that pathing, especially even in Diamond Elo. Like, it's not a very uncommon pathing. So I'm counting on my intuition that he's not going to do this crazy pathing, and I go and take his blue buff. All I'm doing this, I'm looking for potential ganks here. I see that Lux gets first blood, and they also kill Varus here. So this is really good news for me, and that's because now Lee Sin, his plan was to pack down towards bot side, but now both of his lanes, his mid and bot, have died, so he has no more plays to make. And I just took his jungle camps, so I just gained a huge, massive tempo lead. We just spotted him right here. He was right here. I'll show you really quick. Right here. We spotted him for a split second, and I pinged him like 3 times to my Ari just to let her know that Lee Sin is nearby. I don't want you to get ganked. So I'm waiting here, just seeing if maybe Lee Sin might poke his head around, if he might go to my jungle, because he just figured out that his camps on his top side are gone, or on his bot side are gone. So I'm coming over here checking if he's on my Raptors, and what do you know? We find Lee Sin. And you see, this decision at the very start of the game, me going to red and then his blue, calculating those odds and saying most people don't do a path where they do red, blue, Gromp. This gave me an advantage, so much so that Lee Sin puts himself in a position that's very, very unpleasant for him, because he's going to try to catch up and experience some golds from the ones that are just stolen from him. And in doing so, he's putting himself in a vulnerable position. Now, I simply ping my Lux here, and there's no way this guy's going to get out. Even if he uses W, like he already used it on the camp, so he can't. If he flashes like and Q's away to our minion, like, he's way too deep to get out from the situation. He can try his best, but this is why, like, you want to always look for those advantages against the enemy jungler. Understand that if you win the matchup, you want to take away everything you can from them. You want to abuse them. Let's play this. Flashes over. He tries to Q to the minion, ends up dying. And I'm like, okay. If he's going to take my Raptors, now I don't want my camps to desync, so I'm going to clear my Krugs, and then I'm going to look for the reset here. And first back we get 2 longswords, and now we just go to the top side of the map. I'm thinking maybe I can come here and we can bait this Poppy, because she has no mana right now. We see Lee Sin mid lane, so we know that he's not going to be here to counter gank us. This gank just increased its chances and its odds of working. So I pinged my Q on 9 seconds, But Renekton was too trigger happy and went in too early before my Q was up. And now I can't push Poppy back and secure this kill anymore. I have to wait 6 seconds before I can actually Q. If he just waited on my ping on my Q, then it's a guaranteed kill even if she flashes. But we can look at and see how this gank plays out. Q is coming back up. Now it's up. Q, I try to push her back, but he can't get in range to follow up on me, and now she gets enough mana for W and she's out. So we did get a little bit of an advantage. Now Renekton's gonna save his teleport and Poppy's gonna be forced to use her teleport. So he's gonna have a teleport advantage, but he's gonna be a little bit down in experience because me and him were sharing that whole wave. It was a big wave. So Poppy's gonna come back and eventually get more experience than him when she collects this wave. Now here I'm thinking we saw Lee Sin bot lane right here, really low HP. So instead of going to do my camps, I'm gonna do his first. If I can guarantee that my survival rate is here like 100%, then I have nothing to worry about. I can just take his camps and steal gold from him and add it to myself for free. It's these decisions that make a really great jungler. This is the biggest thing that probably took me to Masters Elo, understanding this concept really well. And even though I get put in bad situations, still finding a way to find all the gold and EXP I need to win and get an advantage and win a game. My biggest strength on Vi, I would say, is like collecting gold. Even if it's not through kills, it's through getting value by getting objectives and stats for my team, or like taking towers, or just putting a lot of gold on myself and becoming a threat for the enemy team. So I clear his whole top side, and now I'm looking to clear my bot side. It's important I don't delay this any longer, because all these camps are still level 1. You want to make sure that you take your level 1 camps off as soon as possible, so you can reap the rewards of the respawn camps, your level 2 camps. Because those ones give you a lot more EXP and gold and scale really well into the mid game. You'll find if you make like early gank plays on Vi, what will happen is you kind of delay your level 6 power spike. So you want to make sure that if you are going to go for a play like that, you're definitely going to get an advantage. We see Lee Sin mid here, and I can't really respond to this very well. So I think I'm kind of like forced to back because I have a lot of gold in my account. Let's see. I think I have, yeah. Oh no, I only have 900. I did spend my gold. Wait. No, I have 2,000 gold right now, so I really want to back, but I see like a little opportunity here. I have flash. If I can Q flash in time when she walks towards me, while she doesn't see me. She doesn't see me yet, and then I pop up for a second, and I miss the Q, but she flashes anyway. And I should have clicked over here, because if I walked forward and she stayed in range, I could have E'd through the minions and then killed her. But I think what happened is I got a little bit creep locked, so I wasn't able to get in range. So I tried to do the E, but it didn't work. And I know the only thing that will save me from Lee Sin here is trying to block his Q. So I get in front of the minion right here, and then I think I like move downwards to try to sidestep his Q. No, he ends up queuing the minion in front of him, and then I just walk away for free. So once I know he doesn't have Q, I turn around and just give him a little bit of poke damage. I Q through this wave, clearing the wave, and go back to my the bot side of the map. Now Lee Sin's seems like he's heading top side, so I head towards bot side, and maybe could start considering this play down here. I get level 6, so now I know that there's a ward over here, so I'm not going to approach the gank like coming straight from here. I'm going to Q over this wall. My Q is going to be on a little bit of a cooldown for the gank, but I'll still have my ultimate to start the gank off and then get like a really good engage, and then maybe Thresh can follow up. So that's how I'm thinking about this gank right now. I'm going to show myself as soon as I come through this bush, right? But by that time happens, it's going to be too late for them, and I'm going to be in range to do my ultimate. So look. I show up, and now I try to get in range to get the Varus, but Rel does a really good job of peeling me off. So instead of Varus, as soon as I'm unstunned, I'm out of range to hit Varus, so I just go for the Rel. We get the kill. Now we've created pressure in the bot lane, and I'm moving over to invade this Lee Sin on his blue buff. I see that he's level 5, I'm level 6, I'm stronger than him. I can contest him off of his blue buff. I ping my Thresh. Thresh has the same idea, he's following me to come up. I try to pull the blue buff downwards, and we see him here trying to contest it. I kind of try to bait him into queuing into me, but he doesn't. Ari tries to come over and stop this, but she gets cut off and kind of like cornered. So she gets caught out and she dies here. I try to get in range to like use my E to kill her, maybe get like an assist or the kill. But I don't get right in range. Now Thresh gets a really nice hook play here. But we're kind of just 2v3 right now, so I back away. I go over here. I do something very important. So Varus threw his aura at me, and he wanted to follow up. So what I did is I autoed the dragon so that the dragon would push him back while his ult CC is on me, so he doesn't deal any damage. That way, I can actually make it out over the wall safely as my Q is coming off of cooldown. I'll show that for you guys one more time. So I'm here, and my Q is on 6-second cooldown. So I need to stall to get over this wall over here, so I'm in safety. So Varus is here. He hits his R, and I react by autoing the dragon right here. It pushes him back, so now he can't auto me while I'm rooted and can't move. And all while I'm buying time for my Q to come back off of cooldown, and then I get to Q over. And I try to get as much distance and try to sidestep when I see his Q come out, but it falls short because I'm out of range. And that's like the perfect escape there. You can use dragon to your advantage when people are trying to chase you into the pit. That's the moral of the story there. So I know here, it's probably dangerous for me to stay here, but I'm thinking, hey, if they're distracted trying to take dragon, they're not going to try to invade me right now. What's most likely going to happen is they're going to try to take dragon and then invade me. So my thought process is while they're doing dragon, I'll stop and do my camps so that when they do invade me, all my camps are gone and they can't steal anything from me. Let's see. I think I get 2 by the time they clear it. Yeah. Okay, so I start my Krugs as... I clear my Krugs as they finish it, and then I see Lee Sin coming for this gank. Lux does an insane play onto the Lee Sin here. I tried to like bait Ari into something, maybe if Lux, but I realized like Lux Q was on cooldown. If I ulted here, she would not have been able to follow up quite yet. Maybe I should have tried it. Maybe we could have pulled out something, but I just felt like it's less of a chance of working, so I just held on to my R instead. If you feel like something's not going to work, don't be afraid to just be like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. One of the big problems I have with League is like tunnel visioning on my first idea and not changing my plan based on new information. And now I'm really trying to hone that skill of like changing my ideas and reassessing really quickly when new information arises. So here I'm just clearing this scuttle. And the worst case scenario I'm thinking is like Lee Sin tries to come over here and steal this. And I'm thinking, hey, my Renekton is top, pressuring top lane. My Lux is mid. I'm thinking, hey, Lee Sin, choose somewhere. Are you going to go top? Are you going to go to Rift? Or are you going to go to mid lane? I'm just hoping he doesn't go to the Rift so I can guarantee that he doesn't steal this. And I'm not sure where he is. So it looks like he's choosing to go top lane. Right? So he had 3 decisions. His best choice was probably to go here, because Renekton's just going to run away and he still has ults. Like, there's no way he's actually going to kill Renekton here. He should have come to Rift here to try to steal this and then jump away. That's what I think the highest % chance is, but he just wanted to look for the kill rather than the Rift Herald. And early Rift Herald in the game is probably the most important objective on the map. Just the amount of gold they give you is just way too powerful. Like, I get 320 gold, so that's a kill's worth of gold. And I can potentially take a tower away from the enemy team. It's just so much value, there's no reason not to take it. If you are like a power farming jungler, if you're a jungler that needs lots of gold, and you're very, very greedy and you try to take all of your camps and try to take everything from the enemy jungler, you always want to be making sure that you prioritize Rift first over the dragon. So here, I'm just putting down. I'm pretty sure I have quite a bit of gold in my bank right now. Yeah, I have like 3,000. Yeah, I was sitting on a lot of gold for a long time. But you see how whenever new information arises, I'm going to prioritize like getting this objective over basing and getting a power spike, when power spikes are used to get advantages. If I already have enough power to get that, secure that advantage, I don't need to spend my gold yet. So there's a very thin line of when you're staying on the map too long and you're not getting enough value with what you have, and like you need to base now and spend your gold and make sure that you get back on the map with all your gold spent. Okay, just keep that in mind. It's very important, but it's okay to actually sometimes hold on to lots of gold if you see more bigger rewarding opportunities and stay on the map. At one point there was a meta where you would literally full clear twice before you even based once. That's not the current meta now. So here I come mid lane. We see Lee Sin try to make a play bot and he gets really low. So now me and Lux know that we can 2v1 this Ahri in lane without any interruptions. So I just drop Rift right in her face. And if Ahri comes up here, it's a very simple combo between Lux and Vi. IR, she presses Q, does her ER, and then I just Q auto E, and it'll kill anybody. Any mid laner. Lux Vi is extremely dangerous and deadly. Do not take them very lightly. The second you go into Vi's R range, you're dead. Like, look at this. The second you get into Vi's R range, when you're trying to 2v1 a Lux Vi, you're gonna die. Unless you have like some sort of immune CC where you can just walk out of CC like an Olaf, or you can survive the burst like a Tryndamere. Like, there's no other champions who can really deal with this combo. Maybe if you're just so tanky that we don't deal enough damage to kill you, but it's really hard for you to find a mid laners that are capable of doing that. So since we saw the Lee Sin bot lane making a play, I made a play mid lane, dropping Rift Herald, diving the Ahri with my Lux, and we get a tower out of it. So remember how I said like the early Rift Herald's way more valuable than early Dragon? Lee Sin decided to go for Dragon. I went for Rift Herald. I got way more gold advantage than him, in my opinion. I'm thinking, hey, maybe we invade red here, but I see that Lux really wants to reset, so I'm like, no, we're not going to do that play. We both mutually decided on that decision too. This is some really great cooperation going on between me and my Lux. So here I see Lee Sin bot lane again, and I'm like, okay, now I can go get that red buff, because we know Lee Sin is not going to be there, so I can take it uncontested. See how like every single time Lee Sin does something, I'm ready to like just ruin his day. I'm going to make sure he's going to become a lot less powerful than me, and then when we finally meet in a fight, he's going to face my wrath, and you're going to see all of this gold that I'm compounding like result in a crazy fight where I get lots and lots of kills. Even though it doesn't look like I'm doing much, I'm pressuring the map extremely hard because I'm putting Lee Sin in terrible positions every single moment I can. There's not a second where a decision he makes isn't being pressured. So you see this? He tries to dive my bot lane. My bot lane tries to survive under tower at best. As me and Lux are rotating down, we catch out Ahri again a second time. IR, and she's able to follow up. It doesn't matter where you end up when I R. If you flash, if you dash away, Lux can always follow up with her laser. That's why the combo between them is so powerful. So they kill my bot lane, right? But me and Lux are coming down, and now these guys have nowhere to run. Look at this. Look at this play that he did. What's the point of this play if this is the result of it? It's such a low percentage play, it just doesn't result in any value for the Lee Sin. I don't know why he decided to force this so hard. There is other things on the map he could be doing to get more value. And now, like, our bot lane, their bot lane is forced to get executed. I try to smite here to get in range, but I don't quite. And I don't even know how, like, Thresh managed to mess up his flay. Instead of flaying forward, he flares the wrong way, so he doesn't get the kill, I guess. Boohoo, like, I can't change what he does. He makes a micro mistake, it happens. So we come here, pick up the free dragon because the enemy bot lane's dead now. They can't secure this second dragon. And look, what has the first dragon done for the enemy team? It hasn't done anything. They haven't gotten an advantage strong enough to actually control the second dragon that comes. That's why you always go for the plays that are going to actually snowball the game. Okay? Go for the most high percentage plays that you can see and take advantage of those things. So here I'm looking for the invade, and it gives me a position to scout out their entire team coming here. Now, had my team kept fighting here, this would have been really bad because we'd be baited into using all of our abilities on Poppy. And the fact that I spotted this out through my aggressive pathing, like playing in the backside of their jungle, I was able to ping it out and say, hey guys, we need to back off. They're trying to engage on us. Renekton does walk forward, but the rest of my team is posturing back. He's like trying to frontline for our Lux right now. Instead of like greeting and staying in this topside jungle when it's a very there's a very like chaotic chance of it going good or bad, I just back off and let Lee have his jungle. We don't. If you're not sure about an invade, never go for them, because if you're hesitant on an invade, you're always gonna have problems. Hesitation during invades just doesn't work. You have to be fully committed to the decisions that you decide to do. I know exactly the moment when you need to bail out. That's why you need to have really good awareness of like who's appearing on the map. Like, did the top laner go missing? Did the mid laner go missing? Is it safe for me to do this? Can I 1v1 the jungler if they come? Those are the questions that you need to be answering in your head when you do those types of invades. We see Lee Sin bot lane, so what do you think I'm going to do? First thing I'm going to do, every single time I see this guy, I'm going to take his camps. He's getting drained out of golden experience now. Look at the gap between us. Just for a second. Level 10, he's what? Can't see because it's dead here. I'm level 10, and I think he's definitely a level below, at least one level below. And the gold differential is pretty big, like 500 gold on top of him. And also, I still have 500 gold I haven't spent. And I'm about to get another kill's worth of gold getting this Rift Herald here. Poppy kind of pushes me off of it. Lux comes over here. I follow up. I try to combo the Poppy. And Lux follows up with her QR. And it's just a wrap from there. Lee Sin misses his Q again. I let him hit this Q right here. Oh god, the Poppy is spam pinging his teammate right there. I let Lee Sin Q me here because you can actually cancel Lee Sin's second Q. So if he does come try to follow up here, he'll actually die. He's very smart not to come and follow this. Because if he decided to, I'm ready to cancel it. I get my blast shields, so he can't even kill me. And then, guess what? Lux is going to also bind him under tower. So there's no way he ever kills us here. So I continue clearing up towards the Rift Herald. I'm trying to get enough HP so I can safely and comfortably do Rift Herald on my own, just in case Lee Sin comes. And look at the level difference. Level 9 versus level 11. Wherever I go on the map, I'm worth more than Lee Sin. So say it's a 4v4 fight, right? Because I'm beating Lee Sin, we have advantage even though it's a 4v4. And that's exactly how you win games when you are able to beat the enemy jungler. You just become stronger than them so that you always bring more value to a fight than them. You're always dealing more damage. You're always going to have more of an impact. That's why sometimes you'll see games where the enemy jungler is doing a really good job of avoiding your ganks and your team is playing passive because they know your weak side. So you'll have games where people are aware of the situation they're in and you'll get no kills until like 10 to 13 minutes. That happens sometimes in high elo because they understand when they're in danger and when they're allowed to push and when they need to play safe. That's when you get really high elo, where people start to understand that they need to track their jungler as a laner. If you're capable of doing that as a like a top laner and bot laner, you will win so many games because you'll always be safe. And here I come top lane, I kind of scout out for Renekton that he's gonna get collapsed on, and he backs off accordingly. He's still posturing aggressively, so I come back in when I see Thresh pushing up. It looks like he's trying to get vision, so I try to come up here and help him with that. I shove out the wave mid. We see Lee Sin here fighting Lux, and I'm thinking, hey, if Lee Sin walks into me, I take the 1v1, I win. He just uses ultimate, so if I can find him, he's gonna die. I find him here. I try to get in range. I see my Q, my flash coming up in 1 second, guys. In 1 second. So I had to time this perfectly. There's a little threshold of time I have left on my Q, and flash is coming up. So I have to make sure that I aim it and wait for the timing of my flash. And as soon as my flash comes off of cooldown, I immediately go in, Q auto E, and he tries to kick me away. I think he just kicked me, tried to kick me there. No, that's just a miss. I thought the animation looked like a kick. But I ult him, he tries to flash, he's not quite over the wall or close enough to the wall to flash over. And my Q comes back up, and I just Q him and he's dead. Boom. I drop the rift there, I grab the blue buff. I'm looking, maybe we can siege here. But it doesn't look like Ezreal really wants to path into the lane. So I just ping them off and be like, okay, let's back away. If Ezreal was in the lane trying to shove minions in, then I would stick around. But I had a lot of gold and I had Black Cleaver to buy. So instead of sticking around, I spend all my gold. And now I'm really, really strong. Now, this next fight determines who wins the game. And everyone understands that. At higher elos, people understand there's some turning points that you can't take back. This dragon is huge if they're able to get it. So everyone is grouped up here accordingly. Renekton is splitting top lane, so they can't stay here for too long. If they don't get this dragon, they're probably going to lose the game. So I start pushing into the dragon knowing this. I understand the severity of the situation. The only real ability I have to worry about right now from these four is like Rel trying to jump in on me and Varus hitting his R on me. If Lee Sin hits Q on me, that's fine. Those are the abilities I'm thinking about when I'm frontlining like this. So I charge up Q, Rel cancels my Q. Poppy tries to come forward, but she can't like quite follow up because she needs to get close range to actually do anything. Lee Sin throws out his Q randomly. And I start charging Q, asserting pressure again. Look at this. I'm trying to... it's kind of like a standoff. Like, if I'm going in, I'm going to go in on someone... I'm going to go in knowing that I'm going to win the fight. I'm unsure, so I back out. And look at that. We finally find our moment. Thresh lands a hook on Rel. And what am I ready to do? I'm ready to follow up on him and then ult somebody. Oh, wait, where did that go? Yeah, I go straight onto the Rel. And now I got kicked into the Ahri. So I try to attack Ahri. It doesn't quite work, like, because I get charmed. My Q's back up. Ahri's right in my face. She can't use her art quite yet, or I think she doesn't quite hit it. There we go. I land the Q auto E. And look at this. My art is going to go through her, kill her, and then I go onto the Varus here. Boom. She dies. I smite Varus as he comes down, kill him, and then I turn onto the Poppy here, charge up my Q. I walk into the bush. Look, I walk into the bush to get the speed boost so I can continue to auto attack here. She knocks me back into the wall. My Q's back up. I just Q auto and she's dead, or just Q and she's dead. And that's perfect fight play. That's how you want to play your fight when you have the front line as assassin. Typically, you want to wait for someone else to engage, just like how Thresh landed the hook. Then you can go crazy. You can go bananas. Once you get that little piece of one little advantage in positioning, or some type of like catch that happens, you can just go balls to the wall and destroy everyone. Especially when you're as ahead as I am. You kind of see, like, we didn't fight at all for a long time. And that's because I just kept punishing Lee Sin, punishing. Until, like, we finally fight, and I'm just way more valuable than him. And then, like I said, whoever wins this fight after this wins the game. And they know that, so they surrender here. They don't have scaling, they don't have the team comp to come back from this. We're way too strong, we scale way too hard. And that's game. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. Hope you guys learned something from this and how to like really pressure and bully your opponents. And this is in Diamond, so you can definitely do this in games below. Keep that in mind. And this is Klassicalkill out.